The entire crypto market right now is waking up in a large way, and I do think that now is the best time to prepare our altcoin bags for alt season because, again, time is running out. It is not your friend in these markets because we have a very limited amount of time. And in this video, I'm actually going to be talking about 5 altcoins that I foresee having a ton of potential this alt season. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So over the last couple days, and even technically the last couple weeks, we have been seeing liquidity around financial markets growing significantly, but we've also started to see a lot of interest around crypto growing significantly. And I think that that's very clear now, considering the fact that Bitcoin is well over 71K, Ethereum is keeping pace with it well over 2,600, and altcoins right now in the last 24 hours are up massively. But this is just the beginning, in my opinion, considering the fact that alt season has yet to actually hit these markets. I mean, yes, right now we are seeing altcoins jumping in the top 500 for an example, but again, Bitcoin dominance is well over 59%, almost at 60%, and that is not what alt season looks like. Now, during this time, I'm also focused on money coming into this space because VCs are not dumb. I want to interrupt the video real quick to let you guys know that I have officially partnered up with Bybit, the third largest crypto exchange out there, to offer you guys exclusive rewards and benefits when signing up with my link down in the description below. There's over $30,000 plus worth of welcome rewards that could be yours right now. All you have to do is sign up, trade, and utilize the exchange. This is one of the best exchanges out there, 24/7 support, massive amounts of trading volume in a 24-hour period. They have access to pretty much any market that you can think of around crypto. So what are you guys waiting for? Go and sign up utilizing my link down in the description below and have a good time trading. If we actually look at VC deal flow, we could see that there is still a lot of money entering this space in a large way, investing money into projects, throwing it to the wall, seeing if something will stick, because again, it is the time to plant seeds waiting for alt season. So I'm definitely focused on this. I'm definitely looking into this, but also over on DeFi Llama, something very interesting is happening. And if we actually look at this, we could see since March, VC investing has dropped off. And this is actually technically February into like March, with roughly like May, June being the low end. But more recently, this started to pick up, and even October and September being 2 of the biggest months so far for VC interest. And I do think that this is most likely going to continue. And if we actually look at October, look at how many raises there were. And by the way, this is not, there's some small raises in here, but we actually look, there's like some 10 million, 11 million, 15 million, like VCs are going crazy about crypto right now. So what do they know that we don't? Well, it's the fact that they understand that these markets are about to erupt with more liquidity, especially right after elections. Elections are just, a couple days away now. It's like roughly a week or so. And we also have the FOMC meeting decision as well. So we have a very, very big moment ahead of us that's going to set the pace for crypto to erupt, just like every single cycle previously, which I will talk about. But here we have the Bitcoin chart, and I shared this in a video last night talking to you guys about the structure of Bitcoin. I mean, this thing looks very good, and we're like less than 4% away from making a new all-time high. By the time that this does go live, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing is already broken over its all-time high into price discovery. But also, I shared in that video the correlation with elections and how crypto really kind of behaves with it. And if we go back to 2020, we go back to 2016, we go back to 2012, every single time right after the elections, crypto goes insane. This is why I say you need to prepare now, because I do believe that the same exact thing is going to happen this time around as well. I know it sounds crazy to say, all right, well, history is just going to keep repeating itself. No, it aligns with liquidity. The election aligns with liquidity cycles, which allow for these markets to erupt even higher. And during this time, the reason why I say to focus on alt season is because of Bitcoin dominance nearing that 60% level. I do think that the momentum is dying out on this. I keep telling you guys that. And I do think that this is going to lead us down the path to alt season. And if you guys don't know, here you have the cheat sheet showing how we get to alt season. Again, this is the comparison of Bitcoin dominance to Bitcoin to altcoins and the correlation and how altcoins actually move with, how Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin itself are correlating. For an example, we want to see Bitcoin dominance crashing while Bitcoin is increasing. This is where you actually see alt season officially begin. So while we wait for Bitcoin to make a new all-time high, we also focus on Bitcoin dominance because as this is losing momentum, Bitcoin is gaining it. So it feels as though the stage is set for alt season to happen at least sometime in the next roughly month or two. And once that does happen, you only technically have about 3 to 6 months in between that time frame to make as much money as possible, which is why I say make sure that you're looking into altcoins now and preparing accordingly. So let's actually talk about the top 5 altcoins that I'm really kind of looking at this alt season for maximum ROI. Now, there's great opportunities out there, and if you actually want to get more access to them, I do have a Discord down in the description below that has a ton of free gems. That's right, free gems. That is a full list of high risk, medium risk, and even, low risk opportunities to make sure that you are making money this alt season. Now, let's start off with number 1, Axeler. So you're going to notice that in order in this video, I'm going to be starting with the largest market cap project that I'm looking into, going all the way down the list to the lowest. Now, like I said, there's a ton of other great opportunities in this space that I do have outlined, but this is the number 1 position that I'm really kind of looking at, which is Axeler. Now, this altcoin has so many direct ties with some very large projects in this space and very large companies outside of this space like JP Morgan, for an example. And it is because it is enabling interoperability for institutions. And this thing has been, in my opinion, really kind of building a ton of momentum behind the scenes. Now, overall, the big thing to focus on is the supply. The supply is very limited on this. And yes, there is some token unlocks, but for the most part, it's not too significant. I've been following this for a while. Could actually see that, by 2026, the overall supply is not going to change drastically. So I'm not too concerned at all about the supply. It's already listed on Binance, Coinbase, so large exchanges are already there. And the all-time chart looks like this. So we're kind of at this point in time where it's still under the level in which I personally would be looking to enter, which is anything under $1, because I do think that this thing, once it does erupt, it's going to be similar to Matic, for an example, during the 2021 bull cycle, where it does move very fast. And also, as we do look at the connections that it has, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing didn't hit 10 billion plus in market cap. So it does have a lot of upside potential. Now, next up on the list is AOS, or AI Oz network. However you guys want to pronounce it. I usually pronounce it AOS. But I have been following this project for a little bit of time. A good friend of mine actually, dropped it in the Discord. And if we actually look at the all-time chart on this thing, yeah, it's a little bit of a rough launch back here in 2021 into the bear market, basically. Had still a nice spike up back in November of 2021, but that's when most of the market topped out and this thing sold off heavily. Now, recently, in March of this year, it did have a nice run up. And now it's kind of flat. It's waiting for that next big spike. And if we look at the market cap, the supply of this thing, it does have a tremendous upside potential to it. And it is already listed on Coinbase, so it's very easy to get. And it's also on Bybit. It's also on some other large exchanges, so it's very easy to access. And I do think that this thing is going to be a very big winner. I would not be surprised if this thing also hit somewhere around like the $5 to $10 billion mark. Again, that's a 10x from here. So definitely, focus on this one as well. Next up on the list is Oasis. I have been following this one since the deep bear market because it is one of those AI projects that has a lot behind it. Overall supply, not too bad. Market cap, sub 500 million. I do think that this thing is also going to perform very well. From here, I could see an easy 10x. I wouldn't be surprised if it did go higher, maybe even to a 20x. Just because of what's behind Oasis. They are collaborating with some big names in the space as well. They are constantly marketing as well. This has been a project that has been building nonstop, even in the bear market. So I do think that this is going to be a big winner, especially with the focus on AI. Because just like I said, if you actually look at some of these VC raises, if you look at what they're throwing money into. Yes, gaming is a big one. Yes, DeFi is a big one, but also AI as well. AI has always been a big focus from the institutional side of things, but also even the VC side of things. So I do think that AI projects are going to return in a big way, and I do think that Rose, aka Oasis, is going to be one that also benefits greatly from that. Same with AOS as well. Now, also Maple. Guys, Maple has been on fire this year. This has been a project that I've been talking about for a little bit of time. I don't remember the last time I made a video on Maple, but I know that it was before the big run up. In the Discord, we were talking about this thing around like roughly $10. I think even sometime sub $10 as well. I think it was like $8 or so. But ever since, this thing has been on fire. The entire year of 2024 has been very good for Maple. And by the way, this is exactly what we want to see from altcoins. Right now, it is testing those March highs. And this is after that, pretty much sideways momentum after it topped out back in March. And now it's breaking out yet again. So just in time, this thing is still under roughly like it's actually right around $110 million in market cap. I thought it was under 100 million, but it's okay. Overall though, supply wise, 10 million max supply, roughly 4.42 million is the circulating supply. So this thing does have a tremendous upside potential. And again, if we go back to the all-time chart here, its all-time high back here was well over $60. Now, do I think that's going to go much higher? I actually think that this is going to be a $100 plus coin, because it just makes sense from the market cap perspective, but it's also a blue chip in the RWA tokenization space, and it has DeFi tied to it. I do think that this is definitely going to be a big winner. And by the way, if you actually look at the listings already on Coinbase, easy exchange to get, even if you are in the US. Outside of that, it doesn't have massive listings, but I do think that this will most likely get listed on Binance potentially, or another big exchange. Outside of Maple, another great RWA tokenization player, even around the DeFi space, is TrueFi. So True has been doing pretty good so far this year. Did have a nice spike up back in June, hitting almost 23 cents. This has been a project that I've been talking about in the Discord as well, around roughly 5 cents. It was, I think it was last November, actually, when I started talking about this, because it was right around like Thanksgiving. I remember it. I actually, full transparency, I did put roughly almost $10,000 into TrueFi. And the reason why is because of the fact that they were such a big winner back in 2021. They were early. They were an early launch around that time. And since then, they have been building. They've been pushing solid updates. They have been very loud in this space. And I do think that this is also going to be a blue chip RWA player and DeFi player as well this cycle. And with its market cap sub 100 million. So this is the one that I was actually thinking about that was sub 100 million, not Maple. I do apologize. But it is sub 100 million. Fully diluted value, a little bit under 110 million. Supply is very solid on this one. Again, this is one that I would not be surprised if it hit $1 to like $10 billion. And that's on like the low end. I do think that this has a lot of potential. And you got to remember that, this cycle versus 2021 is completely different. Back in 2021, $10 billion for a market cap was very significant. I wouldn't be surprised if TrueFi hit around like $5 billion in market cap this cycle. But that's 5 altcoins that I foresee having a lot of potential this cycle. We are right there. We're on the edge of our seats, just waiting for Bitcoin to break to a new all-time high. And we're waiting for Bitcoin dominance to break down, because this is going to lead us to the largest alt season that we've seen around crypto. Got to remember, BlackRock's here. Institutions are here. VCs are throwing money into this space. I mean, the focus on crypto right now is so big, especially even with the election. I would not be surprised if by the end of Q1 2025, a lot of these projects were, trading in like the early $1 billion levels. And I'm talking about the ones that are well under $1 billion. We're talking about TrueFi. We're talking about Maple. I would not be surprised to see this space erupt in such a large way over the course of the next like roughly, 2 to 5 months. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.